Shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winner's side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the New York Giants. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken short.
The Giants take over first step. At their own 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he gets this one down to the 24. 39 yards there, a big one. But what made that toss out to the right so successful? Because it looked pretty easy.
A belief in the play. An absolute execution by all 11 on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone took care of their assignment, but the reason they did so, every time that play is called, they think it's going to go for big yardage. It's their staple play, and they love to run it.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Barkley unable to get away on the first down run as he'll be stopped for a loss of a couple. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And this is Cook with a grab. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Will Harris there to make the play.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Murray sets to throw on 4th. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game? Centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
Check 24, check 24. Hey.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ricky. Sponge. Hey, 70.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Set. 280. 58. Come on. We don't want this.
Back to throw. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is T.Y. Hilton. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
At their own 42-yard line.
On the ready.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now this time, Murray to throw it. Looking deep for Julio. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 7-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Murray. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 16. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. So his struggles just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage.
I got you. Shift. 22. Coming. Hey, I-7.
On first down, Stafford here. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Easy.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. Kill. Right. 22. Hey. What happened?
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Now Stafford. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
58.
On first down at Stafford. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
He goes, set, 280, alert, from Omaha, ready to move. He's coming. Hey, Charlie.
Stafford. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Ready, 280. Mike 58, right there. Mike 7. Check the backer, check the backer. 10. Cut.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Allen Robinson. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Go!
From the gun, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Check nine. Double right. 50-50. Smooth.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray, he's got it to Hilton. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he's got his man Hilton. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. T.Y. Hilton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to add on. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And his throw is incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. It's a pickup of 3 on the play, but with it, time has run out on the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. A gutsy call there. You exit the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They give to Johnson going right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. From the gun, Stafford. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 18. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead now down to 20. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken very short. And he'll get across the 20 before he's... down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. First down, Murray. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Alert! Hey.
They go to Johnson again. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on third down, Stafford under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
52-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. Now, he got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This will be taken short. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
There's so many times we hear...
And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slay. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Ah, yes, the old tip drill.
Great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different
was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, 77 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to...
It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jermaine Kearse, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken very short.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. To throw on 3rd down, Murray, and the catch made by Hilton. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
51 the mic, boy, 51. All day, baby, all day, all day. 61, matchbox lights. All right, 54. 51's the mic.
From the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 23 yards, the final tally. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
10. Protein spill. Mike 51.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And now here is another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
They run with Barkley on 1st down, and he gets about 5 out of it. And Justin Coleman brings him down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that,
and he's going to go down again. Devon Kennard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going for it. It's Murray, eluding the pressure right. He completes it to Julio Jones. Julio Jones all alone. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Well, Stafford. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Mike 51. Mike. Hey.
Throwing again. Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Stafford now to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined. I
know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's a Giant 1st down on a gain of 16. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He's checking.
He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. Past the 20, 10, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a time.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Danielle Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Alert! Zebra!
They snap it to Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Back to throw it, Murray. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Tucker now for the extra point. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Oh, were the Giants able to recover? Yes. Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big, and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game, and we can kind of do what we want.
You got 3 down.
Let's go. Hey, Mike, forward. Hayward. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike 40. Check. He's coming. Yup.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check.
To throw, it's Murray. Complete to Hilton. 20, 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.